Well, today I'm gonna to recap about HTML and CSS. So first, I'm gonna talk a little bit about HTML, some common tasks, about task, content tasks, link navigation, media tasks, list, table tasks, form input tasks, and the semantic HTML tasks that's gonna give the meaning for the tag. And then I'm gonna talk about a little bit about CSS and how and this CSS is like a way that can help us to uh, add a style for the HTML task because HTML is just like the backbone of the whole website. So it helps us to construct the structure for the whole website, and CSS is gonna help us to add a style more beautiful for the website. So first, I'm gonna talk about the HTML. So to write about the HTML, um, we declare the file with the ending of HTML, and then um, to this is like the short way to construct the page structure of HTML. We just need to uh, add the mark and then click tab. It's going to generate like the pages one is with we have like the doc type right here. um, this tag gonna indicate the you see here display document type. It's going to display a document type and the language of the HTML, and here at the head, this is where we're gonna add like um, the metadata and like the link, and in the future when we want to add like the style for the website because we want to separate the CSS file in another file, it is better way to manage an website. So we gonna give the link at this head, and at the body we're gonna give the style. Right now there's nothing at the body, so for example I'm gonna run this is like the built-in feature of the WebStorm. So when he is gonna open like the document of this HTML file, right now it have nothing, but you see here this have the name of document because I set the title. It automatically set the title for me at the document. For example, I'm gonna change it to another name like 123, and I save it. It's gonna change it for me. So this is where we define like the title and this kind of metadata at the header, and for the structure of the page, as you see, this is the white part right here. This is where the body we're gonna give that the structure of this body. For example, first we're gonna come up with like the text and content tag. We have like the header 1 to header 6, and what's the difference between one is that like the size of the text. As the header one is like the most largest text, and the A6 is like the smallest one, and we can define it as the paragraph, the line break, and the horizontal line, and we can define like the style of the text by using the task like strong, and but I think it's like the best way to use the CSS to do this thing. But HTML already provide this thing like some pages one, and we have like the span and the div. This is like the way we manage the task. Like the div, it's like the block container, which means that it's gonna occupy like the whole line of the page. I think it's easy to take an example when the div and the span is the, like the inline, which means like it's gonna cover as much as it's need. Like the content is that like uh, till at this point. I think it's easy to take example. So first I gotta make the header. As one to make it a shortcut, we just need to like uh, type the name and click the tab. So it's gonna create the whole code for us automatically. So here I want to like create the first one with like hello world. You see here it's right now, and for example if I want to take another one with like the A2. As you see here, um, it's gonna take like in the new line. um, this is like the block property. even right now you see here it still have like the spray from the left to the right now, but it's gonna touch the new line because for the ace proper tag is it have like the block behavior, so it's gonna touch the new line whenever we want to do something like that. So for example, if I want to make it uh, become like the inline container, I can like add it into this with like the span right here and done. Also just a new line. I think this is something wrong with my understanding here. If I don't give it like the A2 because like the A2 have like the property of uh, uh, a block, so even I when I give the A2 right here, it's gonna touch a new line. So if I want it in the same line, I just give it like the span right like this way. And if I give it at the deep, I think it's gonna touch like a new line if I take it at the deep. Right, you see here it's gonna touch it as a new line if I take it at the deep. And if I want to have like the bread line right here, it's gonna separate the two words in like a two line. You're gonna see it, right? It's gonna separate into the new line, and this is all about like the A1, A2. For example, I want to have like the paragraph, so graph and something contain right here. Mm, you see here. The CSS basically gonna like trim up the space and for us. So even like we touch a new line, but it's gonna take to trim all the redundant space for us. So it's gonna add it into like one line. If we want it to have like a multiple line, we can separate with like the div or the span. The div not span because span have like the inline property. So if it still have a property, it's gonna add it adjacently. This is about the paragraph. I'm gonna test some first graph as an example. I just want to test something long enough so it can display it nicely rather than just like one line. Anything. I just want to copy anything. I and this as you see here for this website, this paragraph is bigger than other ones, so we can test this one as a header, right? Header, and this one is smaller, so we can take it like A3 for example as the what is paragraph. Right now we still don't add any style, we just do but all the whole product now we can see like the component of HTML when we using the tab. Alright, this one is bigger. I think it would be A2. This one gonna grow bigger, and this. Oh no, I think this all things. And the what is the next task? It is like strong and both, right? Okay. This already strong. For example, I'm gonna test this graph to become like the strong. For example. you're gonna see it's gonna be like strong at the bow behavior, bow style, right? But this is something that I don't really want right now. But I just want to show okay about the behavior of this thing. Span, look at it like the italic is on semantic kind of things and div, right? We should like the push all content in like the div to like the best way to management the element and span when we want to add more content that are gonna occupy like the still like it's just in space. It's gonna not touch the new line, but adjacent to adjacent to the nearest the parent element, and then is about like the link and navigation. Okay, for example, I want to add a link to this website. You see, view. For example, I want to add like the link for the Instagram. Right, there is a link of this website. I can do it by. Oh, this paragraph is so long. Right, for example, I want to add the link of the Instagram. I tap an A, and the first property right here is the href. I'm gonna give the link, but this link right now is not available. So I choose another link, for example, to Facebook or to YouTube. After it's gonna be available. Okay, this link. I got this link right now, and I can set the action. Like and something I need to mention about like the ID. For example, I want to set an ID for this link because I want to add like an handle events, and when the user click into like this link, it's gonna reopen the new files for the user, so I can handle it by using the on click or using DOM to manage this kind of event. So for example, right now I set an ID for this one. How to property class link one. I set it like the class name as a link one and click here. You see, it's gonna redirect us to a new link. This is all about the link and the ID. For example, oh, honestly, I don't need the ID right now, right here. But for example, honestly, you don't need like the ID for this case. But if for example it's like the button and we want the user to click into like the button, it's going to redirect the user to another page. So in this case we have to add like an ID or the class name, and we can access it through the like class name or the tag or the um, list name, so that we can do it. We can add the um, behavior for this event, the logic part, I guess. Tag it equal to blank. And then I'm going to talk about media task. We can get like an IMAX audio, video, or iframe, like any website we can imagine. For example, I want to get add like an icon for this link. For example, I can do it by enter an image, and it's gonna um, have like the source right here. I can find I can add it online. We can get the list of the image online, so I can find it by icon. Right, the source. For example, this link is like Facebook, right? Oh, it's already have right here the popular one. Link png, we can add the link here. Like the alternative, we can add another link or the word. So that, for example, if we cannot load this link, it's gonna load alternative link, and we can give it anything, or we can give it blank. In this case, I just give it like an error right here, and we can give it like the try component. You see, it's gonna be like this way, and when they click into it, it's gonna redirect us to another one. Right now, this side is not good, not beauty, but this is like the whole point of the image and audio and video is kind of the same. We just add it, and we can, of course, we can take it locally. For example, if I download it and create like a new folder and push this image into this folder, we can access it from like this folder, but I think it's more convenient to use from the website. And for example, if this link is invalid and I cannot load it, no, this link, the link of the icon, as you see, this one cannot load, right? What? Why it is still valid? It's right. I don't know why this link is still error right here. You see, when it's load, it cannot load the image. It's gonna display like the alternative one, like an error right now. For example, if the link is invalid too, and I need to click to save it. Right, it still get to the link, but the link is invalid because like the first one is the Facebook, so it just gets to like the Facebook page, and the end is right here. It invalid. So it still get into Facebook, but this link is cannot open because the link is wrong. Because the link is wrong. So next I'm gonna talk about like the structure. Like we want to create a list, and this is a list, order list, list item, description list. So for example, we want to for example, when we load from database and we want to display it as a tag, right? We're gonna display this element, these things at the list. At the list, and there are two types of list: an order list and ordered list. So this is just like the semantic thing, so it's not important which type we want, and it's very based on like the case we want to set as semantic. This list should be in order or not, and list is like the element, the try component of the another list, in which we're going to define like the each component for the item. For example here, I'm gonna create like a list, an order list of element, in which I gonna create the element of each, and we can create the shorthands by using like the star. For example, I want to have like 5 element in this list, so I just need to start with the number of 5, and we're gonna create like the list of 5 elements for me right here. So for example, I just type like 1 2 3 4 5. In the future, like when we load, it's gonna we load from the database, so it's gonna construct from the object, from like the JSON file from the database. We gonna like um, con- construct it into the string back, construct it back to the string. So this is, and then we put it into like the line at the list item. Right now it just display from 1 to 10, and you see here, it's like block property. It's gonna create a new line for each component, and then what is this thing though? I honestly don't know this thing. uh, definition list. It stands for definition list. It's graph entire all the term and description. Let's see the example. DT definition term. Oh, it's just like other semantic though. Okay, and then it just be like the semantic parts when we want to add the descriptions for the item list. And there are three types of term. I think I should look it clearly. It stands for this definition list, what an entire list of term and description. DL, DT is a definition term, DT is definition. So this is like the structure for the DL, which when we want to like create a list, a definition list, right? The DL1 is like a wrapper outside, similar to like an order or ordered list, and the DT and DD is like element inside, similar to like the LI element, but it's a different purpose. For the definition is display like the term, and the DT gonna display like uh, the meaning of this term. So it just adds more semantic when we want to do something like this way, I guess. And then this is about table task. Uh, for example, I want to create a table to display um, like number from the 1 to 5, and it's gonna like the call at the table with like two column. The first column to display the number in like the strings, and the second as the number. So I'm gonna create by first typing the table and table row, right? Because it's gonna have like two head, right? Then number one, hmm. So I think there are some misunderstandings about this thing. It's all about table row. So right now I create um 5 row. What I really one is on a line table with two column and 5 row. So THA like the header cell, the table data cell, TD. Do you? I think like TD is more correct. I just try to change it to TD. Number 2, number 1, number 3. What if I put it inside here? I think there's something wrong with this table. Does I not remember correctly? I want to create a table, so I using like the table task right here. It's gonna scrap like all the content inside the table, and because I want to have like two row, two columns. So what is column is not like table row. This one is table header cell, table data cell. This one is just like as a header. I noticed this. I'm gonna check it in the chart. Okay, the main container for your table. That's right. Define the row of the cell of the table. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be like the outside. Yeah, I see. What's gonna be like the row outside, and then we define. Okay. I see. The name is kind of confusing. When we add this, which means that for the one row gonna have like 5 elements in one row. This honestly still not something that I want. I just want to have like 2 elements in one row. Oh, so I see. Alright, so right now it's gonna create like a table for me with like 2 row, right? You see here, this is row 1, row 2, and this one row is gonna have a 2 column, right? For the row and TD, is the content inside it. I see. I'm gonna add more row, and I think this is better to draw like the border outside. So I don't know to. Oh, why is not ask like the how to add border for the table? It's so easy to use the Tywin to add a border. It is correct. Border is a table. It should be. Oh. I thought it's wrong. Oh, but it's still not appear. Border. 10 pixel. Solid. Oh, I need to make it like solid. Solid means it's gonna display, and you see, but it just before the outside. How to display like the line of the column, the line right here. How to do it? It's the 10 pixel is so. Is it more 10? whether I should slide for each of them. I should add like the style for each of them, because for this table it's gonna touch like the border of like the whole element rather than like the each element inside them. So how to add the border of the geo. Oh, we have to do it by ourselves. This is a better way to separate into another things. Okay. Okay. We can add the style of the CSS by using like the target tag right this way. We can target the table T the table row and table data, or it's either th, it should be tr, but it's still the same. Okay, for example I want to add like the margin, the border, the button is like 5 pixels. Okay, it's going to add the button from the element to the outside. This is all about the CSS, but I don't want to talk about it right now. So for example, I want to create the form, the input. So first I'm going to talk about the input. For example, I want to set the input of test, it's gonna like create the type of test right here. Test, or my poor pronunciation. And and I find it's kind of wrong. Oh, I want to add the chart. Oh, placeholder. Yeah. I need to add another attribute like placeholder. Okay, and then just add the number. Right. So it's gonna tie up like it's gonna pop up the plot right here so that I can add the number in this. And for the from if it's going to display like into the table, the for this part, for example I'm gonna enter like the number 3, and for I'm gonna create like 2 part, the number as string, number as integer, right? Okay, and another things is like the button, click, right? So what I want is like, for example, they want to enter like the number 4, the number 3, and here this is like the number no, it's not like as the integer, so it's gonna add like the 3s, so it's gonna add to this table. So to do this I need the help of DOM. I just made this right. So to do this I just create a strip. Is the strip tag is like we can write the JavaScript code inside here. So for example, document dot get by ID. Try for example TR. I don't know, this is like power word to number. Okay. Okay. I wanna check it in the chart whether I declare the right ID. This is the right way to declare an ID. This is the right way to declare the ID. Yes. Okay, okay. Okay, for the JavaScript, it's a better way to use an ID and inside this number string, and we can declare the name for this line. Um, and there are something different between like the var and the let. Um, it's all about the scope of these things, but it's a better way to use the let because it's more safety. Because it's gonna just be long to um, this the block, not like the global size, so it's more safety. So let me give number string right equal to this kind of things, and number integer error document or get element. Okay, and for JavaScript we don't need to like the type constraints like need to tie like the comma at by the end. And another thing is the person. Person one, for example, right? And then when I click, no, I'm gonna not use on click because it's not the best way to add an event. For example, how to display property. Yeah, of course I noticed this kind of mistake. Okay, okay, and let's click. Okay. Oh yeah, it not support. It's only support with like the React. I forgot about this thing, so then I'm gonna define like the function on click, right? We in Java we can declare this one as um, this word at a variable, for instance, at a variable. So no. Oh, I think you need to separate it. Okay, input string. And then when we do this, we can like append. But now after we get the value from this proc, for example, this property, which means like when I enter something like this, it's gonna get the property from this proc, and then click me, and then it's gonna search to the table because we already added ID, so we can get it by input string. No, number string. Right? It's like the row for this strings. So that we can add append try number string value. This one. Okay. No. Why nothing happen? I think it's not re-render. Cannot. At this point, they still don't know this kind of functions. So how to handle it? Oh, it's lazy me. Oh, I must. Oh yeah. There's something's wrong. Before we apply the tries, because this one is just with the strings, we can apply it like this way. But we only append this the let like the strings raw. contain column, right? Equal to document get not as events create element. And then test content. Number strings is not defined. Okay, this errors is number strings. What is number string? What's the cause of the error? Right. For JavaScript, we cannot display the arrow functions. We can only display it normally. Press is wrong. For instance, click. First, wanna get the values from the test input, and then it's gonna append. We wanna create the element. Okay. You try to expand the line element into TR, which is not valid. Oh yeah. TT. Alright, something's wrong. Oh yeah, I see this form right now. I see this form. Or rather than like add it into this part, we need to add it into like a table. I see. I see this form right now. So ID table one. Alright, this for instance gonna trim up the space, and it's gonna check if it have the value. It's gonna assert into the table. Otherwise, is it part of the learn first? Yeah, this code is good. I better to do some things like this. Not run save, and then yeah, it's adding right now. Number 4. Yep, it's gonna add into the page. It's gonna be have like a better way to manage this thing using the JavaScript, using the React. And the things to notice is that like to display the function for the person, we need to use like the normal function, not like the arrow functions, because for the arrow function it's not hoisting. So at the point we display it, at here it's not defined yet. So the HTML element cannot recognize this script, this function. And for the table, because we want to create a new row, so rather than access this one, we will access the table, and then we're going to create a new row for this header, right? As you see here, this is like the table header. Okay, I got it. Number 5. Okay, this is all about table. I must remember it. And then the form form container. There are also a different type test area. I forgot about this thing, so just retry it. So there are different type of the input. The button, the trackpad, the color, there is different type of things. Can access or test element by using form F. We just look up to the form, just create the form. Okay, form type. Uses to correct the input. It's grab input like input test error select and button here so user is key. Oh, we can use it like the form to scrub up like the input test error select and button. Yeah. Okay, for example, I want to add some modern things like the input day, right, and input check. Okay, just please demonstrate another thing and form. Action, so right. Oh, it should where the form that should be submit. Yeah. When we want to submit it into like the back end, the server, so the server gonna collect this server. Okay, got it. But in this case, we don't need to submit it into like the servers. All we want is just be like the submit, so we can. Where is the on submit action, and we create like the submit function. As you see here, this is a different type of the input, the chatbot or not. Contains for this functions RS1 is like um, this one is like the body. So input get the body. Okay, we want to append the choice. Okay, and what we want to try that like the days and is like of t's value. First we get this value and so we want to create a paragraph that's going to display our distance. So first in cell 1 in cell 2 in cell 3 in cell 4 because we're going to have the false value. So for example in cell 1 wait remove immediately. I want to check new part.